Next on Deck with Tim Black.
Going to market something as comedy, but the actual product is nothing more than sort of lowbrow political
These people
activism.
represent the way a lot of people feel.
Man, get out of here. He's 150% right. I don't know if you noticed or not, but the talk show industry has been pretty much one-sided. I don't even watch talk shows, particularly late night talk shows. Psh, man, come on, man. I watch this. I watch the 5150 show. If Club Shay Shay bringing somebody on that's cool, I may check that out. I may check out the Joe Budden podcast. I may check out, there's a couple other podcasts I may check out. You know what I'm saying? Different videos on content online that I might watch. And what's of that? The rest, it'll be streaming services. You ain't going to catch me watching Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon or Seth Meyers. Or I'm not even watching John Oliver. You know, I'll watch Jon Stewart, but basically, I'll wait till you guys tell me it was good. Then I might check it out. Be honest with you. Because John may be the most honest of the group, but at the end of the day, John is still going to side with the Democratic Party. When it all comes down, when it's all said and done, that's how I used to be. I ain't that way no more. Here goes a little clip from CNN where Jennings is talking about how comedians in the internet space or in the cable news media space, in cable, how they've really been phoning it in over the years, going after Trump to the point where they're not even comedians anymore.
The rest of these people have become pathetic. I mean, they stopped being comedians and they started becoming political activists. I mean, Jimmy Kimmel out here crying. I mean, it's pathetic. And so my question is, if you're going to have a late night comedy show, at some point, people might expect it to be funny and not just a constant political screed against one party. And I don't know that this activism for 4 more years is sustainable. If you're going to market something as comedy, but the actual product is nothing more than sort of lowbrow political
These people
activism.
represent the way a lot of people feel.
Man, get out of here. He's 150% right. The lamest. We've been hearing Trump jokes. This is why I cannot stand these guys, man. I mean, guys, honestly, this is one of the worst, man. Tory's one of the worst. I remember the time he didn't number Dale Hughley with a softer But at the end of the day, you know what he's going to say? He's going to defend the Democratic Party. That's what he's going to do. That's all he's ever done. I remember the time that Diddy did this. Now you're talking. Diddy in jail now. Yeah, now's a good time to talk. But I had to parse it in such a way that it would make explain. And now he's going to deny. Now he's going to deny that these assholes haven't been doing Trump jokes nonstop for 12 years. 12 years of Trump jokes. There's nothing creative about that. That's some garbage hack shit. But not to Tory. Now they got an audience. Man, those people are captive in their bubble. It's stupid shit. And for a creative person to ever co-sign that, like it just says exactly who these people are. You know, man, to deny that all these shows haven't been carbon copies of Bash to Republicans is beyond the pale. And you know what? When you go to a comedy club and when you do stuff, material, whatever, it should be about funny. It should not be about, I got to kiss the Democratic Party's ass. Tory just can't wait to get in and defend Democrats. Look at him. Whole time.
Product is nothing more than sort of lowbrow political
These people
activism.
represent the way a lot of people feel. So it would actually be interesting if the Trump folks could actually make us feel like we're not going to take away your rights. And that doesn't make sense. You think it doesn't make sense. A lot of people think that actually makes sense. That is the.
What did he say? It would be nice if the Trump people made them feel like we weren't going to take away their rights. I thought we were talking about comedy, dog. I thought we were talking about jokes. That's what he was talking about. What's this guy talking about?
way a lot of people
Yeah,
feel.
that is their audience.
Is that their mission, to be activists and not
Everybody on that show can't wait to go on one of those shows, except you probably, Scott. All of them. Abby Phillip can't wait to get a shot at the couch if she hasn't been there already. Torre can't wait to get back on. Maybe another rapper will get killed, so he has a reason to go on his show and talk and be explaining to the whites about the blacks. He'd be that Jewish black guy who talks to the white people in white vernacular, but still has street cred somehow that he gained 25 years ago when he knew Heavy D. Come on, at some point, we got to say it's time to change the guard, man. It's time to switch things up. But the culture needs to shift. We need to shift comedy back to funny. It's been stolen and hijacked and commodified into an apparatus to help Democrats get elected. That's what it is. And they still did not get elected. So basically what I'm saying is they just lost for a good reason. And now we got an opportunity to kind of get back to funny. We can't get back to funny, Tori. We got to keep doing kissing ass. There's people that relate to it. It's people that want to sleep with inanimate objects too. There's someone in love with a bridge. I saw this. A man literally wanted to marry a bridge. He thought the bridge was sexy. It's a condition. There are people that are into all types of shit. That does not make it funny. I mean, it's funny to imagine a guy proposing to an inanimate object and being sincere about it. But I mean, it's not funny that our comedy has focused on the anguish of liberals, of limousine liberals. It's corny. Every Seth Meyers joke I ever heard was some play on Republicans or some garbage. Like, what is this? Funny. Everyone needs to laugh. It's a universal language. Get back to funny. Funny. The real good comedians can do both. They can have a point of view. They can be topical, but they do not have to go. There is a difference between what a Dave Chappelle, what a Theo Von, what a Bill Burr would do, what a Deion Cole might do, what a Corey Holcomb might do. There's a difference between that and what Jimmy Fallon, what Stephen Colbert does, and you know it. But see, Torre just wants to put his punk ass in a seat on the stage with him. He wants an opportunity. You know where his bread is buttered. That's all it is, man. How could you not know the difference? I'm sorry. It just hits home for me because I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of this ass kissing. It's been going on for a decade, a solid decade of Trump jokes. A solid decade. And this moron sitting up there, and Abby, the more I hear Abby, the more of a... I might start calling her Mammy Phillips, man. I mean, I'm sorry, man. Jesus Christ, you're too old to be such a mammy. Pretend to be cool. Jesus Christ. She's in her early 30s. She talks like an old lady running from slavery or something. This got a ticket, got into the big house. Now we need to do this. We gotta be something that you hush now. Always siding with the establishment. Every time. Goodness gracious. When you make Faulkner sound like she's cutting edge rebellious, there's a problem. You know the sister from Fox News. When you make her sound like a rebel, you're way too conservative, sister.
comedians?
Well, sometimes the comedian does stop telling jokes and say serious things. And generally, a real comedian will have a serious moment in an hour-long set where I'm
Jimmy Kimmel literally crying on stage about his son and making it Trump's fault or some shit. Oh, come on, man. That's not what Dave, that's not what Colin would do. That's not what Pryor would do. It's not what Eddie would do. That's not what any of the greats, Lenny Bruce would not do that. There is not a comedian that has gone down in time as a great would ever do that shit. It would be about an overarching idea and some important point to it. Not what Stephen Colbert does. And if you know what, if they were being genuine, you wouldn't be able to do it every few months. It would be like one time remember that one night? Like the one time Richard Pryor talked about Africa and about not using the N-word anymore. You know, he didn't do that bit every time, every 6 months, or every time Jimmy Carter picked up a peanut or something. He didn't do it every drop of the hat. When a news cycle changed, he did it one time about that one topic. Why am I talking sense to Tory? Hope other people listen, because Tory, he a hack. You know? And that's, by the way, guys, that's why the Black News Network tanked. Because nobody got guts. No one has heart. They all want to do it this way. Let's go this way. And I know this person, I kissed this ass, and that ass is, all these asses I got to kiss. And it's not inspiring. There's no risk involved. If there's no risk, if there's no pushing of the envelope, it's not art. It's not art if you don't offend someone, if you don't go too far, if you do not step on the third rail from time to time, you ain't doing art, baby, because that's inherently going to happen with art.
Talking to you as a human to human, and then come in with a joke. But yes, comedians absolutely have the right to say serious, real things about the world. That has been a part of comedy forever, that we can say things that the average person wouldn't say.
Just one other point. During the Biden years, there was nobody that provided more comedy fodder possible than Joe Biden. I mean, he was walking...
He was made fun of.
He was absolutely not.
He was left
all the time.
Ah! Now they want you to think Joe Biden was made fun of anywhere along the scale of Trump. Really? Really, Abby? Of course he did. He was made fun of. Remember that one time when someone said, oh, shit.
Harris was left alone.
No.
They got nothing. They didn't get 10% of what they deserved.
He's too old. He doesn't understand. I mean, he seemed like Gerald Ford, the way they portrayed Gerald Ford.
SNL never got Biden right until Carvey came in the last couple of weeks.
They roasted him at the White House Correspondents' Day.
I think comedians actually have a different problem here, which is that I think people are a little bit bored of Donald Trump.
Oh, look at the dumbass. Who's this guy? I can't tell.
In both directions.
Josh Burrow says America's bored with Trump. We just got the most votes in history? I don't know. Yeah, that's a good signal of boredom. There you go, Josh. Tell us more about how bored the world is of Trump. He just won the popular vote. Keep going. This will be good to hear the insights of Josh Burrow, co-host of the Serious Trouble. Yeah, Josh Serious Trouble podcast. Yeah. Serious Trouble, huh? Is that supposed to be sarcasm or something? Abby brought him on, though. Abby brought him on. She did bring him. Did she bring on all the smoke? No, she brought on Cameron. Yeah, I saw how that went. Baby Abby say, look, I'm going to go back to the white guys because I try to give brothers an opportunity. What do? They roast me on my own show. Was that Abby or Amy or Mammy?
And I think you see this frankly in the cable news ratings. You see it in circulation numbers and subscription numbers for publications that are not the New York Times. I think that the level of sustained interest, not just outrage, but just interest in following day to day, who did he fire today, that kind of stuff, I think is a lot lower. And I think it's not just a problem for news. I think it is a problem for the late night shows. If the late night shows were broadly of interest to people who can't stand Donald Trump, their ratings would be a lot higher than they are right now. Mm-hmm. And so I think that the part of if you're a comedian who does not do a daily show that needs to be keyed to the news, I think the solution is that you are probably less political than comedy has generally been over the last few years, because I think people are exhausted.
People might also want an escape, and also given that Elon Musk kind of lost it about.
Nah, man, if Trump is in power, they're going to go after him, of course. But when he wasn't in power and that they were still going after him, that's when it made it like, what? What? I mean, and the fact that you guys can't give us that. I mean, that's obvious. I mean, God, the guy wasn't in office. Biden was. And still the jokes were about, what did Trump do today? Huh? Come on, that's a hack. I kind of want to stop because
Dana Carvey's impression of him this weekend, it's not going to go over too well with this new crowd.
No. Look, I don't watch late night, except for your show.
That sounded like an admission.
But I do think that even if you're a comedian who spends all of your time making fun of the world, there is a certain seriousness with which you have to take this period in America.
Get the... That's it. Stop. That's enough. That's how you lose elections, Johnson. Get out. Get out. Get out. Take you and your corniness, your lameness out of the door. It's more needed now than ever. People need brevity, need some light, they need to let some air out of the balloon, sir. Yeah, goofy, what are you talking about? We need to be Nah, man, that's what news is for. That's what psychiatrists are for. That's what therapists are for. That's what weed and alcohol is for, frankly. That's what good sex is for. That's what a lot of other things are for. But comedy is not the place to go, we need to be serious about it, and we need to talk seriously about North Korea. Fuck out of here. Next segment.